What if the McCain campaign had written two scripts for two different Landstuhl ads? For the ad they did produce if Senator Obama canceled his trip to visit wounded troops in Germany, and one for if he went through with the trip, accusing him of using wounded troops as campaign props. GOP strategists telling Business Week that the campaign had just such a second script ready to go so that, quote, no matter which way Obama turned, McCain had an Obama-bashing ad ready to launch. McCain's campaign manager Rick Davis denying to Andrew Mitchell this afternoon that the campaign had a second ad ready to go, saying he still thinks Senator Obama made a mistake in judgment in not visiting the troops at Landstuhl. Let's turn now to our own Eugene Robinson, also, of course, associate editor and columnist at The Washington Post. Good evening, Gene.
Hi, Keith.
All right, two ads ready to go. If true, would that not seem to prove that McCain, having already reversed that position of I'm running a completely clean campaign, really could be willing to say anything to win the White House?
Well, what that would certainly indicate is that what is important is not the substance of the bashing, but the bashing itself. Right. And I think that is where we are right now. I mean, this was probably always going to be a negative campaign run by John McCain. He starts the race with a number of disadvantages. And the way to deal with that, classically, and often it works, is through negative campaigning. So some Republicans are wondering what took him so long.
Yeah, but on the other hand, a lot of other people are wondering how'd they get there this soon? We're getting one new sort of massive detonation today. The going negative portion of the McCain campaign seems to have started awfully early against historical references, does it not?
Well, against historical references, yes, and there is a certain kind of frantic nature. The sense you get that, we talked about them having two ads ready. Did they have a second, Paris Hilton ad too, a Lindsay Lohan ad in case that tested better? I mean, it's just like throwing this stuff against the wall. It's to create noise. It's to create a distraction. It's to make it about Obama and survive to, deeper into the campaign. I think the McCain campaign was concerned about Obama just kind of running away with this thing.
But the frantic nature of this, though, never mind right or wrong, 96 days to go. Can any campaign maintain this kind of pace in terms of attacks, or does it necessarily implode by just trying to do too much and trying to keep this volume of 11 on a scale of 1 to 10 every darn day?
Well, I don't think you can keep this up for very long. For one thing, as we've already seen, you can't keep the candidate on message if the message keeps shifting every day. And so, we disavowed the Landstuhl ad. Does he still support it? There's no way to expect a candidate in the middle of a campaign to keep all that straight. So you're going to have some serious message problems. And then just the energy level involved in, they were so outraged that Obama dared, note the fact that he's the first major party African-American candidate. Fairly salient fact. The campaign doesn't have to be about that, but it's true. He doesn't look like those other presidents on the dollar bills. But, that took a lot of energy to summon that sort of outrage in the McCain campaign. I don't think you can do this indefinitely.
And if the goal is to influence not necessarily national media, but local media, as they have said, then they get hit with stuff like that was in the St. Petersburg Times today. The self-described happy warrior in the 2000 presidential campaign has turned sour in 2008, and the candor and straight talk that once made him such an attractive candidate are rapidly disappearing. That's obviously a crucial swing state. Is there some indication that this is backfiring on that grassroots level where they think it's actually going to succeed?
Well, that's obviously not the kind of editorial you want to see. I mean, the question is McCain aiming all this at the kind of red meat conservative Republican base that may have had some doubts about him from the beginning, or is he going to go after those independents who remember the old independent bipartisan John McCain? Right now, he seems to be trying to energize the base, and but I kind of take issue with the question of who these ads are aimed at. I think they are aimed at the national at a national. They're kind of a national buy. They're aimed at us. They're aimed at us as a kind of megaphone that gets the stuff out there, and so I'm not sure I entirely buy the idea that, oh, well, we're just trying to reach folks at the grassroots.
Well, I'll cede your wisdom on that, but just remember, if it doesn't work, they will come out with an ad eventually saying Obama's not black enough. So just stand by for that later on in the campaign.
It will happen.
Gene
You're
Robinson
right about that,
of the Washington Post and MSNBC. Thank you, Gene.
Good to be here, Keith.